We're back. That's right, we're back. We're back to working on a 1972 today. I want to warn you, I'm going to name drop today. I'm going to name drop. I'm a name dropper today. I don't normally do it, but where do I start? Safety first. We're going to work on the truck today. We're going to do a few things. This is my daily driver almost every day, if I go anywhere. And I got some things that need to be fixed on it, but I drive it. So it will come in the shop for all these things when I get the 1971 C10 in Spanish Cold done. When I get done, I'm driving that, then I'll tear this down and do some things to it. So I got some issues with it that are just bugging me, irritating me all the time. And I'm gonna just temporarily fix them. I don't like the temporary thing, but squeaks and rattles and just bugging me. But I just wanted to say safety first. Now let's address that real quick while I put my gloves on. Let me get my gloves on. Safety first. I think it was, it'll lose me now that I'm on video. Mike Rowe, I believe, was the first one to coin the phrase safety third. And there's a reason for that. He believes that safety first really gets in the way of productivity, and there comes a point where it's realistically safety can't always come first. You make your own decisions. I never realized the paint being that. It's an old truck. So I want to address safety first, and that is, if safety's first, why do we heat our houses in the winter? Because most all heating has the potential for fire. Fire burns houses down and people live in houses. So maybe it would be better if we didn't heat our houses in the winter. Okay, I'll cover these more and more. I have a bunch, but just, one per video will be enough of that. Safety is important, but is it first? Something to think about. So with the truck today, I'm going to move you around, and that's just how it's going to be today. I have a belt chirp. Now, anybody that's had V-belt vehicles through their lives, generally us older guys, will know what a belt chirp is. Now, a belt squeal is more common. That's when the belt slips on some type of drive, whatever it is, either the motor or the power steering or whatever it may be. And that will cause that squeal. But a chirp, I don't really understand a chirp. It seems like it would be every rotation of the belt. Then it would chirp when it comes to a certain point. Or it came to me later that maybe it's a bent pulley or something, and when that comes around to that bent spot, maybe it chirps. But I've tried to deal with this chirp. I put new belts on this before, and I did spray some belt dressing, and I used the soap trip. The only thing that really worked was WD-40. That did stop the chirp, but it also stopped my alternator from charging, so maybe not a good idea. But let's get right to that, see what we can do with the belt chirp. Yeah, you're going to get moved around. I'm going to get you in here. I think, well, let's get in here and look at it. By the way, while I'm moving you, I want to say happy birthday to Stephen King, Bill Murray, and I think there was another one, Faith Hill, I think, is today. The only reason I know that, because I'm name dropping, is because it's my birthday today. So we won't be doing a whole lot. I'm just trying to get my driver to where I can enjoy it. I'm not sure you can even see down in there. It's everything's dark. Let me get a light. So I started on these belts, and I thought maybe this one. I don't know. That's the alternator belt. That don't seem to be a problem. It's pretty tight. It's new. And then the only other belt I have on this car right now, anyway, truck, excuse me, until I get the air conditioning put in, which will hopefully be next winter. But I reached down on this power steering belt and I gave it a wiggle, and if you listen, can you hear that? It's a little loose, and it kind of makes a little squeaky noise. So let's tighten that up. I'll tell you, the bolts are hard to get to, so I did that before I started the camera, just so you guys wouldn't see my elbows and the back of my head. But I haven't attempted to tighten this yet, so I got a pry bar right here. And it's probably, too big, but it's the one we're going to use. and I'm gonna jam it down where I shouldn't put it, between the power steering pump and the bracket. Yeah, I know, probably a proper tool, but we'll just give that a little, you don't want to go. Well, of course, should have done that before I started the video. Yep. Okay, well, we'll flip this way. I don't want to bend the housing. Not that anybody would see it or probably care anyway, but it would bother me, and today's about things bothering me. So let's tighten that up. Let's give it another little, I'll go one more little push on it. Yeah, I don't want to go tighter. So what I do in this case is I may be out of the adjustment of the power steering pump. So I'll go back, like loosening. If I can get somewhere in there where I won't hurt something on the frame. Well, I don't want to go that way either. Yep. Go figure. Now that just doesn't make sense. I got it loosened up. I don't like that squeak. It's bothering me. So it won't go either way. So we'll just keep with, oh, there it goes. Oh, we're going tighter for sure. Let's reach in there and see what we got. I'm quite sure that's my squeaky belt. Maybe I'll just get a new one, even though this one is new. But when you talk to me, new is a couple years ago. I mean, a belt should last longer than a couple of years. It's in good shape. Because maybe it got hard and hot and whatever. Let's get this. Bear with me. Get this in here. And I want to go tight. Not over tight. Yeah, I can't see. But not under tight. Yeah, you get it. Let's try that. Yeah, I can't even see down in there. We're gonna err on the side of over tight, just because we've had an issue with it. Look at that, my brand new glove. Just put it on and I ripped it already. Well, that's what they're for, I guess. Yeah, Bill, right there, come tight. Come off of there. All right. Whew. Well, first thing I've done, I'm already sweating. Let's see what we got. Wiggle that belt again. Still having a little squeak to it, but it's definitely tighter. And it does look like, I mean, I did a belt alignment video a long time ago. And there's no way I'm going to get you in on this one, but it does appear that power steering pump is just slightly out of line. But GM made it, not me. We'll see what happens with that. I'll get a new belt. If that doesn't fix the squeak, then I'll try realigning GM's bracket. All right, enough with that. Let's move around to the next issue. This will be fun to show you. All right, so down in here, nice truck. It's fairly original. We have a small hole rusted down in there. Can you even see it? I don't know if you can see it. Anyhow, I'll put my hand on there. Right down in here, in there. Yeah, this ain't working so much, is it? Anyhow, maybe I can show you over here. Oh yeah, back by the battery. Okay, between the battery, you see that daylight down there? Yeah. That's supposed to have metal in there. So that'll have to be addressed when I redo this truck. But we had a squeak anyway. Now, I did do this off camera. I'm going to get you around here. I know, you're going to be upside down, everything else. So over here on the fender, when I drive the truck, generally on a dirt road, or you hit some chuck holes. They weren't made by chucks, but that's what we call them. Wood chuck holes. Anyhow, this, I finally figured it out. You would hit, just be bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. Yeah, bang, bang, bang. You know, darn, darn, darn. Doom, 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 doom. Banging, banging against here. Well, with that fender banging against that, it made a noise. So I thought that was it, but I wasn't sure because my gap was pretty decent. So I took, and I won't move you, I'll just grab one. I took one of these shims. This is for like doors and windows. Made out of wood, fairly soft yet hard enough to work. And I gently bashed it in there. Broke it off temporarily to see if that would quiet that banging down. And it did. So I know that when I redo that inner fender someday. I'll probably have to remove this whole fender, which I don't believe has ever been off. And it just needs to be worked forward a tiny bit. Okay, enough about that. Let me, I don't know what I've even shown you around here yet. There was another issue I didn't like, but we won't get into that. Not today. Let me take you around to my next noise. So I'm driving down the road and I start hearing this noise again. Clickety clackety, bangity bangity again. Well, I noticed that the seat would move just a little bit. I'll get you up here. And it depended on where I was driving and what I was doing, but I kept hearing this noise, and this is the noise. That would get irritating, wouldn't it? I don't know if it bothers you, but it bothers me. So what that noise is from is the lock on these seats. The driver's handle makes that side unlock, and they run a cable across. I showed this in a different video, but they run a cable across, or it's actually a steel rod, to a thing over here that locks this side. Those get out of adjustment, they break. A lot of things happen to them. I believe I still have the parts for this one. If not, I'll have to machine up some more. But until I do the seat cover on this, I just have this on here. I want to reupholster this seat, but again, I'm driving this all the time. So temporarily, for as long as it needs to, I'm going to use little tiny locking pliers. Oh, let's get you in there so you can see something. Okay, hang on. I know, wiggle jiggle. But you know, you want to see. You came to watch something, so just close your eyes for a second. I'll get you in here. I'm just going to take you off the mount. Not a big deal. So underneath the seat on these rails, yep, it's dark in there. This ain't my best video, is it? That's all right. Just take a second. I left my flashlight right over here. Grab this flashlight right here. All right, on this seat, I'm getting you there. Just be patient with me. Here's the rail. Yeah, I gotta hold my phone in a one-handed world. And this rail is where this, see that moving right there? We're gonna take these locking pliers and we're gonna put them where the seat's adjusted where I want it, right there. Now, yep, it's fixed, at least temporarily. So let me wind this up. I didn't drop it. I got more names to drop, but let me wind this up with telling you about my exhaust. About every 2,000 to 3,000 miles. That's what I was going to show you earlier, but this, I'm not getting a flashlight. You just had to suffer. This manifold right here, these bolts that go through the flange, that goes to the exhaust down in there. Yeah, you can't see it. One of them will come loose and or fall off about every 2,000 to 3,000 miles. I've used brass, I've used steel, I've used just about everything I can think of on it. And they keep coming loose. So I'll keep putting them on there. Loctite won't work, it gets too hot. Well, maybe I'll use there's a name. Maybe I'll use a lock washer, because Morsky says they don't work. So that'll be my next thing. This is some things I got going on real quick if you want to hang around to see what I'm up to. This is the fall. It's a busy farm time of year. So these deep ripper shoes, I call them that because they look kind of like look kind of like a shoe. You follow me? Like this is the tongue and that. Yeah, you get it. These are $1,000 for 5. And I've had these here a little while and I've just been procrastinating. I can weld them up for a couple $100, so they get brought to me for that. Well, I kind of drug my feet on these 5, and now some more have showed up. So I gotta get caught up. They just wear differently. Like this one, that came off. That's not good. but I'll tack that on and I'll grind it in so I can put a decent weld rather than just cap weld. That ain't gonna hold because this wears. It's in the dirt. It just wears all the time. These go down on the dirt real deep, like, I don't know, 18 inches or so, and they lift the dirt, break the soil up, farm stuff. So those have to be welded. This one's getting thin. I think there's one missing. Yeah, right here's one missing. The tips are gone. I can show you that real quick. I got a bucket of new tips right there. Basically big, heavy triangles. And they're made out of AR metal, which is abrasion resistant. They get welded on the tips because those are all wore off. And then I got these new brackets here. These go to a wheel loader, as you can see there. They're 1 3/8 inches thick. So there's some, these all have to be beveled and welded. That's some serious, pretty serious welding. One of these goes on a rock bucket, or a skeleton bucket, whatever you want to call it, for picking up rocks. One set. The other set's going to go on a bale spear. So I got them to do. Just millions of things. Cutting down a gate over here. Cattle feeders, they put their heads through that slot right there, and they eat the corn on the other side. Okay, anyway. So you kind of see what I got going on. It's been busy, and it's no excuse, so I made me a birthday video today. I want to thank you again for coming, and we'll see you guys again next week with more fun with Wrenching with Darren. Later. Goodbye. See ya. Oh, I got to turn this off, don't I? All right, how many times am I going to do it today? Oh, I should show you. Spoiler alert, I'm going to show you where the Loctite's at, so look away if you don't want to know. But here's where it's at this week. I'm going to try and do this at the end of the videos for the people that can't seem to find it. Some of them are very difficult, but you see it now. All right, there it is for this week. I'm going to go with 1. I'm going to turn this off in 1. Here we go. 1.